So, are schools racially oppressing black kids? Oh, yes, yes. How do we know? We know because they are disproportionately disciplined at school. Yes, this is exactly the kind of argument that people like Ibram X. Kendi would have you to believe is a serious argument. It's not a serious argument. Why are black kids being disproportionately disciplined? That's an easy one. Because they are disproportionately bad. Did you see the video of the two black boys beating the hell out of a little white girl on a school bus? And no, a single incident, is not hardly conclusive evidence. How about the many smash and grab videos that you've seen, right? You notice a common denominator in all of these? All the people there are black, rampaging through the streets, pillaging, burning, destroying, and looting, right? And what about those attacks on elderly Asian people? You know, when they first started these Asian attacks, oh, MAGA, and they're blaming COVID, and no, Asians were being attacked by black people in the streets, utterly unknown to them, violently, mercilessly attacked. And when you consider the disparities and misbehavior at school, you consider the fact that this is mirrored by disproportionate involvement of blacks in juvenile crime and adult crime. You know, school, juvenile crime, adult crime. So it's no wonder that black kids are being disproportionately disciplined in school. Except now they have policies that preclude teachers from punishing black kids who misbehave because they're being disproportionately targeted. No, they're not being disproportionately targeted. They're being targeted because they're bad. This is awful. So teachers have to scratch their heads and find some little Chinese kid who's misbehaved in some fashion or other to equal up the statistics. It is ridiculous nonsense. This misbehavior has to start somewhere. This antisocial misbehavior starts someplace, and typically it's in the schools. So no, it's not systemic oppression. Now consider this. Young black men represent about 4% of the US population. That's right, 4%. And they are responsible for about 50% of the violent crime in the United States, and everybody's supposed to pretend, oh no, nothing to see here, folks, nothing to see here, folks. And there are a lot of very decent young black men out there. I've met several of them, right? But of this 4%, there's a subset that is deeply violent and deeply antisocial, and growing numbers in the black community look at the success of Asian peoples and think that their failed lives are the result of systemic oppression by these Asians. Their failed lives are a result of a constellation of toxic cultural commitments. And here's a surprising fact. In light of Joe Biden's repeated warnings of white racism, blacks commit 2.5 times as many hate crimes as whites. That's right, about 2.5 times the hate crimes in the United States as whites. And blacks represent about 13% of the population overall. And whites, about 60% of the population. So whites are dramatically underrepresented in the participation of hate crimes. And in terms of interracial violence and crime, blacks have an advantage of about 88% advantage over whites in interracial crime. So no, LeBron James can stop hiding from the police or white people. No, nonsense. And think about all those little kids gunned down in the inner city by drug-dealing, gun-wielding thugs. Mothers are putting their babies in bathtubs at night because the bullets are coming through the wall. These women, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. They deserve to be protected by the police. So this, as a consequence of this oppression narrative in the schools, as I mentioned, are revising their disciplinary policies to ensure equitable rates of school punishment. And so kids who should be punished aren't. These bullies are then disrupting other students while they are trying to learn. And they're intimidating and very often assaulting teachers and other students, of course. And this does not help this disruptive black kid, right? A strong message from the school might just cause them to wake up and to mend their ways. And if not, shove off, because they're destroying the learning quality for other students. So are schools racist? They're becoming racist with this anti-racist diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. Yes, they're becoming racist, but not in the way these leftists are lying to you. No. Please check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice, available on Amazon. Not important because I wrote it. I wrote it because the issues could not be more important. And I don't lie to you. I do not lie to you. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.